Hi, my name is Tina Kahn, and I grew up in Brooklyn on East 21st Street, which is about 2 blocks from here. And I now live in Hazlet, Michigan, near East Lansing, Michigan, the home of Michigan State University. And I've been in Michigan for about 40 years. But I want to talk about my memories here at Brooklyn Public Library, the Linden Avenue branch, as well as other branches. And like Les Baum, I too grew up here at this library, and my mother was an avid library fan, in fact, and I'm going to talk about her in a little minute or two. And so she would religiously bring me here every week, and we did not have a lot of money, so having the public library resource was an incredible thing, particularly for anyone who wanted to read or learn to try to better themselves in any way, shape, or form. And so, like every Sunday, I think we came here, and it was a form of recreation too. And I remember playing outside there's like a stone thing that is now fenced off, but I remember it being really big, and now as I'm looking at it, it's really small, so I must have been a young kid. I was a young child. So lots of memories here in this library, wonderful memories. But I want to talk about my mother, who then moved from this area to Sheepshead Bay and was an avid library goer there. And when my mother died, unbeknownst to me, at her funeral, there were librarians from the 3 different branches there, Sheepshead Bay, Linden here, and somewhere else, I can't remember, which really amazed me. But the classic story I want to tell you about my mother is this one. Before she died and she was in her apartment, I would look and she'd have a bookshelf filled with hardcover books, and they all said Brooklyn Public Library on them. And I said, Mom, we need to return these books. You know, we have to put them back into circulation. She'd go, no, I'm not going to deal with it. Okay. My mother died, and I'm looking at the books thinking, I need to return these books. So I called her friend, who also was a library goer, and I said, Eileen, or whatever her name was, I said, Eileen, what do you think about me returning the books to the Brooklyn Public Library? And Eileen said, no, absolutely not. They loved your mother. We can't do this in her name. We have to keep her memory clear. Do not return the books. And I did not listen to her. So I called up the chief librarian, I forget, I think it was the Sheepshead Bay Library. And I said, I need to come see you. And I met with her and I said, I hate to tell you this, but my mother was Beatrice Jonas. And she said, oh, I know Beatrice. And she was so involved with the library and she'd do the fundraising. I said, yeah, well, I have some bad news. I have about 300 hardcover books that my mother took. And she said to me, we knew your mother was stealing the books, but we let her do it because she was such a good patron here and she was here every day. I said, well, I really would like to bring them back. So she said, okay, we'll make an arrangement for that. So this is really a classic story. So I had my cousin come with her car from New Jersey to get the books. We went up to the 6th floor, wherever it was, got all these books, took them down. It took us like 2 hours in the elevator. We pack them in the car, and we bring them over to the library. And the librarian had someone waiting for us with a dolly and the whole thing. Said thank you very much, and we're unpacking the books from the car. And I said to my cousin, I said, I have to keep one of these books. I can't let all of them go. It was like letting go of her body or something. So I found a book that was underneath the seat, the car seat, and I said, I'm going to take this book. It was a hardcover. So we returned all the other books, and this one hardcover I kept, and it turned out it's called The Mists of Avalon. I'm trying to remember the author. It's one of the most classic books written. It is a marvelous fictional book. And it was like, yes, So that's the story. My mother, may she rest in peace, as she would have said, now it's told, Mom, that you did steal the books, but we returned them to the Brooklyn Public Library. So I have a lot of good memories, and she did too, because she read about 3 to 6 books a day. But when I asked her what she read, she couldn't remember. But she enjoyed it. So thank you, Brooklyn Public Library. And I do believe in the libraries of this country because they are public, they are free, they are available to all children, all adults. And so I really support the libraries all over. Thank you so much, Brooklyn Public Library, Linden Boulevard branch.